Imagine a place where prostitution isn't just a trade, it's a tradition. A village where daughters inherit their mother's profession, where fathers and brothers accept it as a norm, and where escaping the cycle is nearly impossible. This isn't a hidden red light district in a bustling city, it's Naprawa, a remote village in India, infamous for being one of the few places in the world where generational prostitution is openly practiced. Why has this been happening for centuries? What forces keep this system alive? And more importantly, can this cycle ever be broken? Stay with us as we uncover the dark secrets of Naprawa, the struggles of its people, and the fight for change in one of the most controversial places in the world. The history of Naprawa. How did this start? To understand Naprawa's present, we need to look at its troubled past. Naprawa is home to the Bedia community, an ethnic group that, for centuries, lived on the fringes of Indian society. Historically, they were performers, musicians, and entertainers who catered to the royal courts of India. But everything changed when the British colonized India. The fall of royal patronage. When the British took control, they abolished princely states, stripping communities like the Bedis of their only livelihood. The Criminal Tribes Act of 1871, the British labeled many nomadic groups as criminal tribes, forcing them into poverty and pushing them towards survival through illegal or marginalized means. With no land, no jobs, and no resources, many Bedia women turned to prostitution, and over generations, it became ingrained in their culture. Even after independence, India's government failed to integrate these communities into mainstream society, leaving them trapped in a vicious cycle. Why prostitution became a tradition in Naprawa. Unlike brothels in big cities, where women are often trafficked, prostitution in Naprawa is different. It's a deeply rooted social structure. A girl's fate is decided at birth. In many families, when a girl is born, it is already assumed that she will follow the same path as her mother. No education, no escape. Schools in the village are rare, and many girls drop out early because their future is already predetermined. Economic survival. With no land ownership and no stable jobs, most families rely on the earnings of their daughters to sustain their households. For many of these women, prostitution isn't just work, it's the only option they've ever known. But how does the rest of society view this village? Society's role, stigma, rejection, and isolation. Naprawa's reputation extends far beyond its borders. Many people in India know about its history but choose to ignore or isolate its people instead of helping them. Marriage is nearly impossible. Women from Naprawa are often rejected by men from other villages, fearing shame and dishonor. The men struggle too. With no alternative job opportunities, many men in Naprawa remain unemployed or are forced to leave their homes to find work. A village of outcasts, other communities avoid interacting with Naprawa's residents, reinforcing their social and economic isolation. The village exists in a state of limbo, neither accepted nor truly abandoned by the world outside. So, what happens to the men in this village? The role of men, silent witnesses or enablers. In most societies, prostitution is a covert industry, but in Naprawa, it is a family business. Fathers and brothers often rely on women's earnings to support the household. Many young men struggle to find wives, as outsiders refuse to marry into the community. Some men leave the village to find work, while others remain trapped in a cycle of generational poverty. Although many men in Naprawa feel helpless, very few actively try to stop this cycle. Why? Because in a system where prostitution is normalized, resisting it means going against centuries of tradition. However, change is coming. The fight for change. Can this village be saved? Despite Naprawa's dark past, there are glimmers of hope, thanks to activists, NGOs, and social reformers who are working to break the cycle. 1. Education as a weapon. One of the biggest efforts has been to educate young girls and show them that they have a choice beyond prostitution. Schools have been set up to teach skills like tailoring, handicrafts, and computer literacy. Awareness programs are educating families on the importance of breaking the cycle. 2. Alternative livelihoods. Some organizations are helping young women find work in cities, though stigma still makes it difficult. Small businesses like handicrafts and textile workshops are providing alternative jobs. Microfinancing projects are helping families become financially independent without relying on prostitution. 3. Government intervention and challenges. While there have been laws against prostitution, enforcement in places like Natpurwa is nearly non-existent. Some police officers turn a blind eye or even exploit the situation. Political leaders often avoid addressing the issue due to fear of backlash. But despite these setbacks, change is happening, one step at a time. The bigger picture, Natpurwa is not alone. Natpurwa may be India's most infamous prostitution village, but it is not the only one. Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Uttar Pradesh have similar villages where prostitution is passed down through generations. In cities like Mumbai and Delhi, thousands of girls are still trafficked into forced sex work. Across India, 3 million women are involved in prostitution, many against their will. This is not just a local issue, it's a national crisis. So, what can be done? The road to redemption, what needs to happen next? For real change to happen, multiple factors need to work together. 1. Stronger government action. Proper rehabilitation programs for women trying to leave prostitution. Strict laws against human trafficking and forced prostitution. 2. Education over tradition. Schools and villages like Natpurwa need long-term funding to provide continuous education. Awareness campaigns need to break generational beliefs about prostitution. 3. Economic empowerment for women. Job training programs must expand so that women have viable career options. More NGOs and investors need to support small businesses in these areas. Change is possible, but it will require effort from every level of society. A dark past, but a hopeful future? Natpurwa's story is tragic, but it is not without hope. The few women who have escaped prove that change is possible, and with growing awareness, the world is finally paying attention. So, what do you think? Can Natpurwa ever truly break free from its past? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you found this documentary eye-opening, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Subscribe for more deep dives into hidden stories around the world, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.